Why would you take your phone that you paid for and let the whole world know that you a side chick?
I'm a side chick. Of course I don't want your man to myself. I don't want to be the first dumb in line.
I don't think I have the mind capacity to be the only girlfriend. I need to make sure I'm in charge of scheduling you out to these other women.
Could you share your man with somebody if he gave you everything you wanted?
I share these men for less because they gonna go cheat anyway.
Being the other woman has never really been a new phenomenon. It just looks a little different today. Back in the early days, women were reminded to be composed and have top-notch etiquette, while men were simply reminded that they were men.
From infancy on, we all learn from our parents, our peers, and our society that there's a difference in what is acceptable or correct behavior for a man and for a woman.
A girl is a girl. She's taught that these are the things that a girl does. She walks a certain way, she talks a certain way, she looks a certain way. And the same thing with a fella. He's taught that these are the things that a fella should do. He should walk a certain way and look manly and walk manly and talk manly.
Those gender roles that society placed on men and women also shaped what each of them could get away with. And yes, those expectations followed them in the bedroom.
Society expects your husband to cheat. Men have needs, you see. They're prone to urges, which a society views as natural, almost charming. Any signs of passion or desire in a woman are viewed as suspicious, even shameful. So when your husband seeks pleasure elsewhere, an actress, a barmaid, a brothel, it's shrugged off. Boys will be boys.
Society tolerated male promiscuity as a necessary evil. He's a man with urges and instinct. And on the other hand, the woman that he was hiding from the world, or his wife, she was the one that ended up facing the shame and embarrassment for all parties involved.
I beg your pardon? I am Mrs. Stephen Haynes. Sorry, but I don't think I know you. I believe it's my husband you know. Oh. So Stephen's told you.
Being the other woman, or the woman he only sees on the weekend, that came with a type of shame you wouldn't dare tell the world. But today, oh today, women are turning that very position into a trend. In today's video, we're gonna look at how a situation most women only discussed in a locked diary is now an all eyes on humiliation ritual. Welcome to the Girl Talk you didn't know you needed. Now, I'm not saying you have to subscribe. You're classy. I know you don't just give those away for free, but hopefully at the end of this video, we become bestie enough for you to take that next step. When it came to affairs, or situationships as we call them today, back in the day, what made them different weren't the actions. No, we all know those will always be the same. It was the silence.
So it seems the digital age has made it easier for us to cheat. But there's one group of guys who have always found it pretty easy.
Men in positions of power seeking sex outside their primary relationship is something as old as time.
But for almost 100 years, their indiscretions were kept secret, protected by one hell of a bro code.
A lot of men who stepped outside their marriage or had multiple women were mainly men in power who suffered a lot less consequences than the woman they were keeping secret. And in many of those cases, turning a blind eye was something that was hoped to be a part of the agreement.
Camilla was a married woman, having an affair with the Prince of Wales. As it turned out, her husband had no problem with her affair with Charles, because he was also seeing women outside his relationship with Camilla. Charles was still in love with Camilla, and had hoped that Diana was someone who would turn a blind eye to their clandestine relationship.
If you were the side chick, you had to stay quiet. If you were the wife, you had to stay quiet by sitting back and accepting it. Even if you were the cheater and your private actions became public, you had to claim you were mentally insane just to protect everything attached to your name.
Charlie, you're not the father of the child. Oh, Charlie, I've been very wicked. I have done very wrong.
When Sir Thomas, her father, went to see his daughter, they went straight upstairs and saw his daughter, came downstairs and said, "Poor thing, she's mad." They began to realise that this was the scheme. that if she could be proved to be mad, then she would never be able to stand up in a divorce court and give evidence.
Harriet's father had determined to sacrifice his daughter for the sake of family honor by instructing her to feign madness.
Now, as we're looking at all these affairs from the past, I want to quickly say that we're not romanticizing or reminiscing them. It's going to show you just how far we've come today. Because back then, it was the things that no one dared to talk about that tore lives apart. But today, it can be small, annoying things that can literally throw your whole week off. This video is sponsored by Clover, who lets you access up to $400 before payday with no interest, no credit check, and no hidden fees. And that extra cash really comes in handy when you have a 2007 car that loves to surprise you at the worst times. So when the battery died and then shortly after the alternator went out, Clover came in clutch by giving me that little bit of leverage my pockets were not prepared for. They really give me peace of mind knowing that I'm not scrambling or falling behind over something so small but so inconvenient. So if you've ever had groceries, gas, or random car problems pop up at the worst time, Clover can help you bridge that gap until payday. Access up to $400 with no credit check or late fees. Click the link in my description so they know I sent you. Thank you, Clover, for sponsoring today's video. As the decades moved along and the culture started shifting, these situations were no longer something people had to whisper about. They stopped being something that could risk you and your entire bloodline's reputation. Affairs and hidden relationships started showing up more openly in movies and television, and not just as scandals, but in my opinion, I feel like they started to become romanticized.
Hollywood wants you to cheat so bad, and it's kind of messed up. Have you ever noticed how many movies, especially romantic ones, just sneak infidelity into the plot like it's totally fine? Like, oh yeah, I know they're engaged or in a committed relationship, but have you seen the chemistry with this other person?
Cheating in real life isn't a joke, and it really bothers me when TV and movie writers romanticize cheating. Because first of all, we cannot ignore how much influence media has on our perspective about life. So when these cheating scenes are added for effect or just for drama, it is actually not funny.
So now that cheating and being the hidden lover is a bit more modern and quirky,
so it's okay that I kind of cheated on him?
With whom? Well, he was a guy from work, and it was nothing. You know me, it was just sex.
It's also become braggable to be kept secret or to be with someone when you know you shouldn't.
I'm a side chick. Of course I knew that man was married before I started dealing with him. I'm a side chick. Of course I sent him back home to be unhappily happy so he could come back to me and be. I'm a side chick. Of course I'm the authorized user on a credit card that you have no idea about. I'm a side chick. Of course I don't work because our husband pays all the bills.
I knew, and y'all may think I'm reaching and that's okay, but I knew when SZA came out with that song, that's when the conversation started changing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's The Weeknd by SZA, where she casually admits that she's not the main woman, she's the one he sees only on the weekends. Put the pieces together as you will.
What I'm actually saying in the song is my man is your man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all share the same dude, saying that I'm aware, I don't care. I'm not trying to, like, I don't need to be his girl. Like, not even saying that you're his girl, saying that none of us are his girl. All of us are just out here trying to get different things for different reasons. And my particular reason is just get here and do what you said you was gonna do. I think it's like taking the power back, because it's like women just are supposed to do something but like cry and feel weird and like, oh my God, like I don't have no, he's not my man, I have separate, it's just, it doesn't matter.
With lyrics that read, like, is you coming home? Is you, I'm sorry, I can't do this. Are you out with her? Like, in context, it makes sense in the song, but actually saying the grammar out loud, it just doesn't, I can't do it. I don't care long as you hear by 10:30, no later than. My man is your man. Heard it's her man too. Super catchy, super toxic, sums up modern music today, right? Now, from my understanding, this is her story, this is her experience, and I'm not going to knock that for her. But what I will say is I do feel like this song conditioned a lot of women into thinking that this is normal.
But don't get me wrong, I like being a side chick because I don't gotta deal with all that bullshit. Just me and go. You gotta keep me happy so I don't tell your girlfriend. So you gonna buy me that Birkin bag. You gonna give me that Birkin bag. Don't get me wrong, you can go home to your plan. You can leave here.
So you don't mind being a side chick?
I don't. What? You can go.
Why were we in 2016, 17 screaming, she's like 9 to 5, I'm the weekend? Why were we praising being side chicks? Why were we boasting about the fact that that man couldn't give a rat's petunia about us Monday through Friday, but as soon as that weekend came around, we were his choice?
It's basically encouraging women to share a man because it's sexually liberating. And my man is her man, and I'm not sad. I'm not crying about it because I'm just playing him. I'm just taking the power back.
So could you share your man with somebody if he gave you everything you wanted?
I share these men for less because they gonna go cheat anyway.
So
if I know for sure that he's going to give me everything I wanted, I will voluntarily share. Because we involuntarily share these men all the time. They cheat. My man probably cheating as we speak. I don't give a damn. I'm working.
Literally.
Because yes, men get away with way too much when it comes to these arrangements. So I'm all for taking your power back. But taking your power back shouldn't mean letting a man have that much power over you.
I don't need to be the main girlfriend. I just need to be the favorite girlfriend. I don't think I have the mind capacity to be the only girlfriend. That means you got to get on my nerves 24/7. I don't feel like dealing with him this week. Can you pick up the slack for me? I need that. You do what you do. Send them back on Wednesday, and then I'm going to keep them for Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then you going to get the other days. I need to be that girl. I need to make sure I'm in charge of scheduling you out to these other women. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I crazy for that?
If he's with multiple women and he decides who's first, second, or who's the favorite, I'm sorry, but the power was never actually yours. So the fact that, and I say this in the most respectful way possible, the fact that this isn't shameful anymore. It's not a secret.
When somebody comes and asks a question about side chicks, why is it always so negative? And why is it like, oh, you guys are wrong or whatever? That man doesn't love you. That man's not gonna leave his wife.
There's an argument that sometimes the side chick get the best of the man.
And I do.
Okay. Oh, my God.
So I've been dealing with a married man. He's been with his situation for 20 years.
Don't be trying to make it light by saying his situation. He's been married for 20 years. Go ahead.
I just want to know why it turns me on.
It's normal to be in a situation or situationship where you know that you're not the main course, so you accept the crumbs.
Top 5 reasons why I was so comfortable being a side chick. So I was giving my therapist the rundown, chopping it up. She goes on to say that I'm addicted to the highs that he provides for me in the moment.
And that's led us to where we are today. Incoming, the weekend lover trend. Now, if you've somehow missed this trend, let me catch you up, because people aren't just talking about or singing about being the booty call. No, they're submitting evidence. The trend is simple. Women show their face and then they show the man that only sees them on the weekend.
I will defend a woman's rights and wrongs, but this weekend lover trend is making me sick to my stomach, and I don't know, I feel like you could not waterboard that information out of me, and I'll take that to my grave.
We have to start holding women accountable as a group, as a whole, because that's why the men are not the men think they are the baddies. Like, the audacity. What do you mean you're his sneaky link for the weekend? Like, we have to stand up.
But oh, I forgot to mention, most of the time, these faces of the men are either not in frame or blurred, because who knows what that man or who that man is doing when he's not with her or when it's Monday through Friday.
What the is up with y'all? Are y'all okay? This is high school activities. Y'all posting pictures of backs that y'all had to hide and take. I know you lying.
So, as these people are basically telling the world that they're the second choice or they're just a choice overall, the lyrics, "I never wanted to be your weekend lover" from Prince's song Purple Rain are playing in the background.
And if Prince was still alive,
he would be pissed off that people are on this app using Purple Rain of all songs to talk about being a side piece. That one little piece that says, I never wanted to be your weekend lover, and then people are posting the person that they're screwing who may or may not be in a relationship. Prince would be pissed.
Okay, now you got the full story, but this is what's not being told. The women doing this trend, they aren't doing it because they want to take the power back. There goes that phrase again. Because that's what SZA and a lot of other women think taking the power back means. To basically show that you can do the same heartless, no strings, no feelings attached actions of a man. So then, why does this feel like a cry for help instead of a grab at power?
This trend of I don't want to be your weekend lover, y'all have to stop. I'm getting PTSD. This is triggering the out of me, okay? Some of the images, I'm like, Lord, please, I can't go back there.
In my 20s, I slept my way through Manhattan because I had no self-respect for myself. And the reason I was a weekend lover to all of these really sexy men was because I didn't have any boundaries. I wasn't standing up and saying, that doesn't work for me. I don't want to just be your casual girl that we have a fun time and then you drop me like a bad habit. I was taking anything I could get because I was praying to the gods above that maybe this person was going to choose me.
And the text, y'all. Oh my goodness, the text. Not only are people exposing themselves and the worst in themselves, they're exposing text messages too, which personally I find much worse.
This girl said, can't keep casually sleeping with you. I want something more out of this. The person said, I don't want a relationship with you. I thought I made that clear enough. Some of these screenshots I'm seeing of these texts that these men be sending y'all, are y'all okay? Like, truly, are we well?
I mean, text messages of women begging for a text back, showing text from men panicking at the thought of anyone finding out that they were linking. I mean, y'all, look at this. I'm gonna block you and then unblock you when I want you over? That sounds like he has another woman at home, does it not?
I am so happy we never had social media when I was growing up, because y'all really have got me up with this weekend lover trend. You the side chick, and you posting the man that don't want your. Are y'all okay? Because baby, what if that silhouette that you are posting, the woman that actually sees him Monday through Friday sees that and now, oh my God, how stupid can y'all be?
Now, all of this boils down to one thing. Well, two things. That is the blame and the shame. And the internet is in shambles about which party involved, that being the man or the woman, should take on the blame and the shame.
I don't support all women, because some of y'all are slow. What do you mean a weekend lover trend? Is y'all just exposing that y'all are side chicks? Showing pictures of these men, messages of them doing you the worst way. Because they don't want to get caught?
Again, why are we shaming women for the wrongs of men? Now people are blaming women for the weekend lover trend. Like, it's not the woman's fault that a man was an asshole and is now deciding to post about it for community, because I'm sure other women have experienced the same thing. And y'all are blaming women again.
And the crazy thing is, as I was researching this video, I was scrolling, and it was really hard to find videos where people were just blatantly giving men the blame for this trend. Everyone's saying, oh, this trend is embarrassing and it's degrading, and it is. But it's all being directed at the woman embarrassing herself, which she is. And all of that got me thinking. Y'all remember earlier when I said the woman that he was hiding from the world, or his wife, she was the one that ended up facing the shame and embarrassment for all parties involved. Well, this is the perfect example of that coming full circle. He gets to quietly move on to the next or hide you from his wife while his name is covered, his face isn't in the camera. And she's, yes, willingly embarrassing herself, but she's the one that gets all the shame, all the think pieces. Let's get this clear, okay? Because no one is in the right. This whole situation is just weird as is. But you should not be with a man that only wants wants to see you 2 days out the week, especially if you know he has another woman, that's weird. And we should also not let men have this much power over us, period. Thank you for tuning into the Girl Talk you didn't know you needed. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, hype, whatever classy people like you do before heading to the next video. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.